Today I'm going to be replacing this 36-inch exterior door on a garage. It was actually vandalized a little while ago, and I recently painted the new door right here. So this is the same door. Actually, I picked these doors up from Menards, so it should fit exactly. So in this video, I'm going to show you all the tools that I have, some of my favorites right here. Show you what's in this bag right here at the very end. Some handy tools that can take on pretty much any project like this or anything else that I come across. All right, so looking at this door from the outside, you might think that it doesn't need to be completely replaced. So if you look right here, the doorknob, they really did a number on that. That's completely shot. They either hammer or put a pry bar in there. You can see it's been kicked. All right, let's look on the inside here, see what happened. So taking a close look right here, you can see that the striker plate right there to the doorknob had been completely ripped off, and then also for the deadbolt as well too. Yeah, they really did a number on this. And then from the top of the door jamb that was damaged all the way to the bottom, that's probably, I don't know, maybe 30 inches or so from there to there. So otherwise, it's not in that bad a shape, but the way that it worked out, I'd just rather replace the entire thing. And just to clarify, this isn't my house, this is a commercial location. So as far as the trim color goes with this garage, this new door right here that I just painted, that's gonna match the rest of everything better. And we're gonna get rid of this. And then I'm gonna repaint this door sometime when it's not so windy. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad today. All right, so let's get started by removing this door right here from the vinyl siding. So the first thing you notice right here, there's a lot of clear silicone caulk. I have to remove that all the way around. Then on the inside, there's not too much. There's some screws along the latch side. Probably, I'm not sure what's up top there, probably a screw somewhere in there. Probably screws just on each hinge. So that side should come off pretty easy. And then I have this temporary brace right here to remove as well too. Looks like just some Phillips screws. All right, so I'm gonna get my tool belt on and we're gonna get started. All right, let's start taking this door apart. Here's some tools I anticipate using. A utility knife, this painter's, I don't know, 6-in-1 or 7-in-1 tool right here. That looks like that's gonna be really handy for getting in there. Clean that caulk off. Might need this pry bar right here, nail puller, and then probably this hammer right here and a few power tools. Just wanna see how this caulk's been on there for years. Well, that's working pretty good too, just that. See the utility knife, got a nice sharp blade in there. Ah yeah, I think that's gonna work well. That whole section's just splitting off. These tools are very handy, by the way. This could not have gone any better right here. At least that section. All right, let's see what's in the center part of this bag right here. Got my speed square. I may need that later. Some of my bits. And then I have my impact driver. I love this M12 right here, very portable. I have this small little hammer right here. It's a little 12-ounce. Just once in a while, it's just nice to have something small that doesn't weigh that down. So I just took a couple screws out from this 2x4 and the door opens right up. So now I think what I'm gonna do is actually just take the door off the hinge. It'll just make it easier removing this frame right here. First hinge off. Yeah, that was a long screw. We're just gonna leave this over here. Now we're gonna start taking the door frame off. Good idea to have safety glasses. Things are falling on me. And a hat too. You're not sure how to take things apart, you just take layer by layer, kind of like I'm peeling an onion. So I'm noticing right here, I can see a little bit of daylight through there. So we'll just keep working this. I do have a multi-tool, oscillating multi-tool that might come in handy. So I just put the pry bar up there and this cracked. So I think I can just break this. Yeah, look at this. All right, something's holding this hinge on. The threshold, it's all rotted. That wood inside there. Interesting. So now I'm gonna clean things up and then we'll be in the put-back mode. All right, we're gonna clean the floor up a little bit. Get all this grime off because we're gonna put some construction adhesive down. All right, so right now we're gonna dry fit the door. Hopefully all my measurements are perfect and hopefully everything just lines up. So all I have to do is nail this down and then put silicone around it, but we'll see. Okay, the moment of truth. Ooh, okay. Okay. All right, have a little gap there, a little gap up here, a little gap there. So far it's looking good. Just a little concern on the outside of the vinyl siding, they'll be able to squeeze this in there. So what I do if I'm hanging a pre-hung door, typically I'll allow like another 1.5 inches or so of clearance all the way around. That allows you some room to shim it. Some people might go a little more, up to 2 inches, but that's what's worked for me. So I'm gonna try this bar right here, see if I can slide that underneath the siding. Oh yeah, that'll hopefully lift it up. I do need to take some more of that silicone off the top. I forgot about that. That might be all the way in. I think that's close to all the way in. Let's check the inside. So another thing I do is I always have a 2-foot level, so I can just see right here. Well, that is not far off at all. Interesting. Check out the wall. Yeah, the wall is actually slanted inward a little bit, so sometimes you just have to find a happy medium. Basically, it just needs to come in a little bit, and that door is going to be good. So if you look up top, on the hinge side, there's a smaller gap, and over here, it's very slight, just a little bit more. So if I run the screw a little harder right here, that'll pull the door over this way, which will actually push that up a little bit. Yeah, so that is right on the money right there. So it is good, just like that. So now we need to take the door out, put some construction adhesive down below the sill, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it in. So it's time to do a power grab. Time to put some construction adhesive down right in this section right here. All right, so I just saw something really important. I need to pull 2 nails out. That was there for shipping to keep the door from flopping around. All right, so now you have this 2 nails. This is the second one I'm gonna pull out right there. All right, that's looking really good on the other side. I didn't bring the camera over there, but yeah, you can see that's looking good. All right, there's a little bit of paint that stuck. Somehow I nicked the paint a little bit. I didn't put a deep scratch, but that'll touch up with a roller, so I'm going to come back tomorrow with that. So always get more paint than you need. Here's where the door is secured to the building. So there's a long screw at the bottom hinge, the middle hinge, and the top hinge. And then I have some shims right up here where I have a screw going through, and then a couple long screws right here at the striker plate, and I'll show you down below right here how I'm going to fasten this one. All right, so right down here I have the 3 wedges in, and then I'm going to take the trim gun right here, and I want to secure those wedges from falling. Okay, so I'm going to hide the nail behind this weather strip right here. You can see there's no paint right there. So I just want to put 1 nail in so that way the shims don't fall out. Okay, so we're going to put a screw in here, and I have this countersink bit right here. So we're going to just put it right underneath that nail. All right, so here's a 2.5 inch screw. There. Okay, and then I also secured this brick mold right here, so I have the 2.5 inch nails. I put a nail every so often all around there just to help secure it, and then I filled that in with some paint. These are galvanized nails, so we're good. With this type of weather, they're not going to rust. So what I'm noticing is the door just seems a little bit tight, so I'm going to see if I can adjust that threshold by turning those screws down a little bit. All right, now I'm going to go down. So what I'm noticing with this door right here, it seems to be rubbing on the bottom, and I have that threshold pulled down as far as I can get it. So what I'm trying to do is pull on this right here to pull it that way, but right now that reveals good right across the top. It's good right down there. So I put a shim underneath that bottom hinge right there to try to just push it out a little bit. So now I'm going to run a screw in there. So I have this adjustable threshold right here. I just removed it. It unscrews. So now without that in there, the door shuts really nice. The door just, no resistance. But here's the issue. When I put that all the way down, it still rubs on the very bottom. So I've been troubleshooting this door, trying to figure out what else I could have done to make it not rub on the bottom. Somehow like tilt it a certain way or pull one of the hinges over a little bit more. But actually, I think the issue is the door was just set too low, and this threshold right here can't go any lower. So this is what I decided I'm going to do. Taking this out, I'm going to sand the bottom side. This is just like a plastic piece. Try to go maybe 1/8 of an inch. I think that'll make a big difference. right, so I spent a bunch of time sanding this down. All right, so let's go ahead and use this. We're going to put a bead of caulk right around there. I'm going to start on the very top just to make sure the color matches okay. If it doesn't, then I guess I'm going to have to go to clear. So I might recommend always trying to figure it out in an inconspicuous spot first, how the caulk is going to work. And it's a little darker, but I think I can live with it. The thing with this, you just have to take your time to get a good job. Be patient, don't rush it. Make sure you have enough in there. So when you go to buy your door, you might have all the measurements, but you're going to have to know whether it's a right or left-hand swing. You'll see an RH or LH. So this is how I remember someone explained it to me this way. They said, put your butt up against the hinges, and whatever side, whatever hand it touches the doorknob. So like for instance, this is my right hand and it swings that way. So this is a right-hand swing door. If the door swung this way, then it would be a left hand. So hope that helps. All right, so now that we have the door completed, gonna lock it there, deadbolts in. So everything is working nice and smooth. You can put some expanding foam insulation in here. So you can see that gap and across the top. And there's also a gap right down there that I wanna fill in so we don't get any bugs or anything like that coming in. So when you're going to put expanding foam in here, don't use the original kind. Make sure you get the one that's for doors and windows. So the original one, if you put that in there, that'll keep expanding like even overnight, and it'll pinch this right up against there. The door and window kind, once you put that in there, then it's done. It's not going to keep expanding. So I learned that lesson the hard way one time, and I never forgot. All right, so I'm happy with the final results, the way I was able to do some tweaking to this to make it work well. Sometimes I install a door and it's just perfect. There's just hardly like any adjustment needed. Just kind of like put the shims in there just to snug it up, but you don't have to really do too much. So maybe it's for the best that I had some problems while I'm making this video. That way you can see if you're watching another video and it just goes perfect and you run into these problems, you might think you're doing something wrong, but sometimes it could be from the manufacturer. I believe that this one, the hinges were definitely too low. So I had to compensate a little bit for it, but it ended up working out well. So I'm hoping this video covered all the tips and tricks. If you can think of something that I left out, please put your comment down below or leave me a question if you want to know a little bit more. And if you're interested in seeing a playlist of some other projects I have around the house, you can click on that link right there. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you want to see some other upcoming tool reviews and projects, please click down there to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified when other videos go live. So that's it for now, friends. Appreciate you watching. Have a great day. All right, so as I promised, I said I'd show you everything that's in my tool belt and that I keep stored in this MILWAUKEE Packout 10-inch structured tote, plus a few other items that I brought in to do the job. So I didn't use all these tools, but these are my essentials. I'll have a link down below so you can just see what each one is if you're curious about it, or find out the current cost or seeing the reviews on it. So here's my trusty tool belt right here. So this is by Accidental. So I've had the pouch belt set up for I don't know how many years, a long time. Then I recently added these suspenders within the last 6 months, and I'm so glad that I did. So they really held up nice. I've done a lot of work with them. Hey Leo, how do you like those suspenders?